Thanks for tuning in. Ham Talk Live will be on the air shortly. Please stand by. This episode of Ham Talk Live is brought to you by Tower Electronics. For connectors, cables, and more, call 920-435-2973 or visit pl-259.com. And by ICOM. Heard it, worked it, logged it. Visit www.icomamerica.com/amateur for more information about ICOM radios.
It's Ham Radio.
Good evening once again, everyone. It's time for Ham Talk Live, episode number 185. The fall special events, Jamboree on the air, Fallout, and School Club Roundup, recorded live on Thursday, October 10th, 2019. I'm your host, Neil Rapp, WB9VPG. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Ham Talk Live. Tonight we're joined live by Bill Stearns, NE4RD, and not so live with Christian Cudnik, K2BSA, and we'll take your calls live in just a few minutes. Last week here on the show was Dr. Nathaniel Fursell, W2NAF, to talk about the Hamsci Centennial WWV Festival of Frequency Measurements. Say that 5 times fast. If you missed the show, you can listen anytime at hamtalklive.com or on your favorite podcast app or YouTube, or you can catch the rebroadcast on WTWW 5085 AM Saturday evenings at about 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So get your questions ready to go for Bill on radio scouting. If you're listening to us live tonight, on Thursday, you can give us a call after I talk to Bill for a bit and with Christian. And that phone number is 812-638-4261. You can give us a call and ask your questions during the call-in segment. I'll give you that number again so you can have it handy. We're not ready for people to call just yet. We'll talk a little bit first, and then we'll let you know when. But that number again, 812-NET-HAM1, 812-638-4261. Of course, you can tweet us. If you'd rather type, you can tweet us. We'll be watching at Ham Talk Live on Twitter as the night goes on. So I'll be back with Bill after this word from Tower Electronics right here on Ham Talk Live.
Is this getting serious?
I think so.
Well, how do you feel about it? Just imagine if you hadn't run out of PL259s.
Just imagine if your connectors weren't from Tower Electronics.
Consider the sophisticated quality of connectors from Tower Electronics. Their silver-plated end connectors are so good, they've even been used on the International Space Station.
I'm not so sure why I ever used any other PL259s.
Mine are better. Besides, you deserve the best. You know I love you.
Don't be caught without PL259s. Visit Tower Electronics at a Hamfest near you, or visit them online anytime at pl-259.com or call 920-435-2973. They also have ham sticks, mobile antennas, and meters too. See the whole catalog. Go to pl-259.com. Tower Electronics, the ham's dime store since 1978.
You're listening to Ham Talk Live, the #1 podcast amongst the podcasts with the words ham, talk, and live in the title. Here's your host, Neil Rapp.
Thanks to Scott and Jill at Tower Electronics for sponsoring the show tonight to help bring Ham Talk Live your way. Their Hamfest schedule coming up this weekend. October 12th, Chickasaw, Alabama. October 19th, they'll be in Greenville, Tennessee. November 2nd and 3rd, Lawrenceville, Georgia. And November 8th and 9th in Montgomery, Alabama. And you can visit them anytime you want at pl-259.com. Well, joining me tonight live is the chief nerd, Bill Stearns, NE4RD, the newly proclaimed National Jamboree on the Air Task Force Chairman. Bill currently resides in Billings, Montana, with his wife and 3 children, one of whom has a birthday today, so happy birthday. And he's a life member of ARRL and the K2BSA Amateur Radio Association, of which he is currently the vice president. And he is active in a lot of stateside contesting with the Big Sky Contesters and Skywarn with Yellowstone County Aries. And he's a software and systems engineer, podcaster, and just generally nerdy guy. You can find him on the Linux in the Ham Shack podcast, where he's been a co-host since May 2016, and also over on Amateur Radio Newsline reporting on radio scouting. So, Bill, welcome back.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Neil. Thanks for having me back. I'm glad I didn't bore you guys the last time I was here.
Well, you were on a roll there for a while. You had like 2 or 3 episodes in a row. So
yeah, you had us on with Linux in the Ham Shack, and then I came back on for the World Scout Jamboree, and yeah, we were just constantly making the rounds here.
Yeah, it was the Bill Stearns show. So, well. Well, congratulations on being named the chair for JOTA, and big thanks to Jim Wilson, K5ND, for all his years of work, and we wish him some well-deserved rest from at least part of his volunteering. So tell us how that new job's going so far.
Oh, it's going pretty well. We had a couple of meetings on the phone, at least to kind of at least get me in touch with the BSA people and our Jody counterpart here in the U.S. We have it split into 2 different task force right now for the U.S. And we actually just had a meeting, I think about 2 or 3 weeks ago with WASM, the World Organization of Scouting Movement, the international organization, talking about our JOTA and Jody preparations and stuff like that. So it's kind of interesting being on the sort of the business side of the organization of the event here for the U.S. And I hope we can continue to grow it as we have been doing over the past few years that I've been involved with it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about this year's Jamboree. Now, what do you hope to accomplish this year, and how can hams that are listening to us tonight help out?
Yeah, let's talk about Jamboree on the Air and Jamboree on the Internet is next weekend. It's the 18th through the 20th of October. And if you don't know what JOTA and Jody is, you obviously haven't been listening. It's the largest scouting event in the world, not just in the U.S. It's the world event. This is an international event. And if the sign of going to a national jamboree in the U.S. versus a World Scout Jamboree in the U.S., we had twice as many people at the World Scout Jamboree, close to about 50,000 scouts. I think the number is close to like 45,000 scouts. So like everything in the world is scoped huge, and a lot of people are involved in it. And it's great. It's billed as the travel-free jamboree. It's the jamboree you can participate in from your home, from your troop, from a park, or anywhere that the event is being hosted by local parties, whether that be a ham club for like a JOTA, or it might even be a troop member that's a ham radio operator, or just a troop or pack or crew that has somebody doing the JOTA portion or Jody portion as well, which is basically using the internet to have scouts talk to other scouts all over the world. And, we here in the amateur radio community, of course, focus our efforts on the JOTA side because we want to get kids on the air. And it's a great way to introduce youth to ham radio and amateur radio as a hobby, as a lifelong hobby, as I like to say. It's definitely something that, you can get them interested, and maybe they'll go get a license, maybe they'll buy a radio, maybe maybe they'll get on the air. It happens. Some kids dig it, and they want to get into it, and they do, and some are just going through the motions. This is one more little checkbox that they need to check off for requirement, whether that be as a Cub Scout for talking to someone in another country, which is a requirement for their Air of Light, or whether it be part of a Alert Book Radio Merit Badge program that the Boy Scouts are running, the Scouts are running. There's a ton of things that the Scouts can get involved with this event, and it's a great opportunity to get the youth on the air.
Now, I got to relate this story, and I totally didn't realize that I would do this until just now. But today at school, it was Ham Club Day, and we've got a new member, and he has his license, and he got it at a scout camp this summer. So he was in New York State somewhere and did the Radio Merit Badge, got his license, hasn't been on the air yet. So we got him to sit down at the radio. We got him to call a station in Spain a couple of times. That we're getting him over the mic fright, but we're getting him on the air, and he's all excited about it. But he probably wouldn't have done that had it not been for going to the scout camp over the summer and picking up the merit badge.
That's right. And as Jim used to say, it's planting seeds, like you're planting a garden. Some of the roots will take in, and some won't. So it's always good to give to show amateur radio to as many people as possible. I mean, that's how we grow the hobby, is to get more people involved in it. And obviously with the scouting program, we have a good captured audience, because at one point in time in their career, they're going to have to cross over and use radio for something, or at least pass through like a jamboree, a summer camp where someone set up a scout camp on the air station. It's going to happen. They're going to see it. So in the scouting programs throughout the world, there's large amounts of scouts all over the place. So the odds are as good to get the youth involved with radio. But let's get back to just the Joda and Jody event, just to kind of get the paperwork out of the way, as they say. If you want to participate in Joda and Jody, if you're not already signed up, and signing up means if you have a group of scouts and you want to register your call sign as the event station's call sign, you can do that. If you're going to operate by yourself and just provide contacts for scouts, which is needed, much like when we were talking about World Scout Jamboree, just we need other people on the other end of the radio. Band conditions are up and down still. The sun is not really our friend all the time. And, sometimes we have really good conditions, and sometimes not. So the more people that can get involved is always better. And I've even, convinced a few others, just get on the air, register yourself as a single person. You don't have to register, a group of, 10 scouts or whatever. You can register yourself and be participating in the event. And, with that registration, there's two places to register for at least the U.S. market. There's the international site, which of course is jodajody.info, JOTAJOTI.info. And on the website, you'll see a big, sign up button where you'll have to go ahead and register your account. And you do have to have a scout.org account. So you'll have to go through the motions to get that. And what I am telling people to do is, if you even are a single, go ahead and register as a group, because when you register as a group, it opens up other options under your profile, which allow you to also participate and have what at least the Jody people are going to be looking for generally, but we did get a lot of this last year, these Jam Puzz IDs. So you get a JID number when you register your group, and you'll get an email. Like I just got my email today for it. So if you are already registered, you probably received an email as well with your number. Now, if you registered as an individual, you will not get a number. So if you plan on being on the air, then you probably want to go ahead and flip your registration to a group. And when you get down to the numbers of, scouts, just put 0. And you'll go ahead and be a group of 1. And you can go ahead and put all your other information there. It'll ask you for your call sign. If you're going to be on Skype or drawing a blank now. ScoutLink has a IRC chat room as well, and that information is over there as well. What you're there as, like I'm logged in as NE4RD there, so I'm the same pretty much everywhere. And once you get that registration done,
oh, we're losing you, Bill.
And strangely enough,
oh, there you are.
Oh.
You're back.
How?
And we've lost you again.
You have me?
The wonders of the internet. Yes, you're back. And now you're gone.
Oh, no.
The wonders of the internet, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Live radio.
Oh, do you have me now?
Yeah. I can hear you now. Good.
Where did I fall off at?
You not far back. You were just talking about the converting it to a group and
registration.
Registration stuff.
Yeah. So once you finish up with the international site, go to the K2BSA.net site, register yourself there, and you can register there as a group of 1 as well, and put all your information in there, and you're off to the races at that point. You're registered for the event. Now, you talked about what we want to accomplish during the event. So what we want to accomplish is once the event is done, we want as many people to report back their experience and their information back at the K2BSA.net site so we can collect accurate numbers on participants. So we can show that we are growing the Jamboree on the Air and Jamboree on the Internet program here in the U.S. And the more stations we have sending back reports, the more information we have to know exactly how many people are participating, because that's really a hard number for us to get at without people actually, giving us that feedback on exactly how the event went. And to incentivize that, we do have, for stations that follow through, register, and follow through with reporting what happened after the event, the follow-up, ICOM America has graciously donated an ID51A handy talkie for a prize for one of the people that send back in their follow-up report, their after-action report to the K2BSA. So it's very cool of them, and we're really happy to have them as a sponsor for that.
Well, that's really cool that ICOM helps out in so many ways, and it's cool that you can incentivize those reports, because that's a lot of the data that you need to move forward with everything. So that's good news.
Yeah, it's hard to know if it's growing without people sending back in reports. But so far, so good on the registrations. We're about where we were last time at this time. We were just crested over 234 registrations on the K2BSA site. I haven't looked at the numbers over on the Joda Jody site because those will be mixed between ham radio operators and non. So I'm more interested in the ham radio side, obviously. And our numbers are looking good. So hopefully, if we get every single one of those registrations to actually report back, that would be awesome. That would be great. But we'd like more. So if you haven't registered, and I know a lot of you haven't registered yet, because generally by the time Friday comes rolling around, we should be well over 300. So I'm looking for another 70 or so of you guys and gals to go ahead and register your stations, and let's get on the air and let's talk about scouting and ham radio and promoting the hobby to the youth.
And if you can put a group together, that's good. And talking to Jocelyn over at the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting in Westchester, Ohio today, reminded me that they're hosting the event at the museum. And so if you come during museum hours on either the 19th or the 20th, if you're a scout or a leader in uniform, you get in free to the museum and you can get on the air. And they have reduced prices for adults and children that are with the Scouts. So it's a chance to come check out the Voice of America Museum of Broadcasting over there in Westchester, Ohio, as well as get some Scouts on the air. And they're going to do some demonstrations and that kind of thing, because, you know, you can't have every Scout on the radio at the same time. So
no, yeah,
you know,
and it's always good.
That's something that you can do with your own group.
Yeah, and it's always good, especially if you have a group doing this, is to have, you know, volunteers, because, you know, the more volunteers you have, obviously the more people you can cycle through the station. If you only have one radio, it really bores people standing around looking at you cycling one or two through the station. It's best to have, a couple extra hands to help you out. Obviously, if it's a sanctioned scouting event, you'll definitely need to have at least one registered adult and who's been properly youth protection trained in your group. And that's generally not a problem, because I know a lot of those guys are also ham. So, I mean, by now you should have already planned your event if you're in a group. It does take quite a bit of timing to get that handled, get on the calendar and everything else. But I've even thrown up a group in 1 week, send out a blast email. I'm a registered scouter. I got a couple of friends. We can all go out and throw up a radio over at the park and say, you show up, we'll get you on the air. But we highly recommend you plan the event so you can do all the logistics of, what are we going to do when they're not, on the radio? Exactly. We can talk about demonstrating other aspects of amateur radio, doing like little, amateur radio direction finding, building antennas, taking apart antennas, doing stuff with Morse code keys. There's lots of little things that you can do at your event to kind of, augment the actual demonstration of the radio. And you can find a lot of those resources on the K2BSA site for that.
Well, Jamboree on the Air is one of many operating events going on this month, and some contests. And Christian, K0STH from the 100 Watts and a Wire podcast, is busy tonight with his daughter's dance recital, but he's here in spirit and by, I said MP3, but I guess it's actually a wave, but by recording. So here's a little bit about another operating event that's coming up this weekend. It's called Fallout, and we'll, there was a little incident, so we'll let you hear about that.
Well, look who it is. Old Neil. The restraining order isn't awkward at all, is it, buddy? I told you, I didn't do it. You want to activate a summit? We'll go to the summit. I accidentally bumped you and you fell. So, several hundred feet, sure. It was an accident. We have to practice for fallout. We get up the mountain. I push you. You fall down the mountain. These are things that happen. I don't have the insurance to cover this medical bill thing. How's your knee, by the way? Let me just get on with it. The 100 Watts and a Wire Fallout is happening this week. It's actually happening right now. Or as you would say, Neil, right now. Beginning tonight, going all the way through the weekend until Sunday. You can get on the air and make contacts and have a chance to win some prizes in the random drawing. October 11th, all the way through the 13th, we're going to start tonight. So 100 UTC was the kickoff. Boop, we're underway. Set up your antennas outside. If you can, work from the comfort of your own shack. It's up to you. I say if you have a portable station, let's try to get it out before the weather gets too bad. And we say, I don't know about that. I'm going to get the pellet stove going and I'll cuddle with my honey. because that's what people do. But if you can't go portable, no problem. You can work from your shack. Let's exercise our gear, get on the air, and you know what I like to do? I like to pretend there's something happening, whether it's a tornado or an earthquake. God forbid, but let's be ready for the fallout. Any band, any mode, just give your call sign, a 100-watt ID if you have it, your state, province, maybe you're a DX country, and a real signal report. There's a point system this year, Neil, and it's because there are a couple $1,000s worth of prizes, but the point system is very easy. You're saying, see, child, I thought you said it wasn't a contest, my man. It's not. But because of the value of the prizes, I want you to at least work 25 contact points, and it's easy for you to do. You can work any station. Get on the air, call CQ Fallout. Teach people about the 100 watts in a wire community. Make a contact. It's worth 1 point. If you work a station with a 100-watt ID, so it's worth asking, that's worth 2 points. And if you work any of the special ops stations, it's worth 5 points. All of the details are at 100wattsinawire.com. Click the activities page. It'll give you a list of prizes, what you need to do, and how to enter the random drawing. All right? Neil, my friend, thank you for this time. I should only be another 20 minutes or so. So here we go. Let's start talking about it. I'd like to first start with a song. This is Whitney Houston, and it's for you. I'm just kidding. I need to get outside and get this mask going, get this antenna up, and start making contacts. Neil, bless you, my brother. Thank you so much. I'll see you down the road. Won't be too long. And I hope to hear you guys on the air. 7-3, everybody. This is Kilo Zero, Sierra Tango Hotel, listening for you during the 100 Watts in a Wire fallout.
Well, there you go. There's Christian, K0STH, and Christian, the knees recovering, and if you hear Christian on, you know, he wanted a true signal report, so don't give him a 5-9, whatever you do. You know, make it like, 1-1 or something. So, well, anyway, Fallout's going on, so you can check that out as well. And we've talked about Joda, and we're going to talk a little bit about School Club Roundup when I come back with Bill right after this word from ICOM America right here on Ham Talk Live. Heard it, worked it, logged it. It's time to get the transceiver that's best suited for your lifestyle. ICOM offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. Make the most out of contest season with one of these ICOMs today. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals, even in the presence of stronger adjacent ones. The IC7610 by ICOM is a direct sampling, software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has RF direct sampling, 110 RMDR, independent dual receiver, and dual digicell. The IC7300 is changing the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. With RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and SD memory card slot. And, of course, the IC7851 keeps your competitive contesting edge with faster processors, higher input gain, higher display resolution, and a cleaner signal. ICOM's IC7851 is the pinnacle of HF perfection. It has dual receivers, digital IF filters, memory keyer, digital voice recorder, high-resolution spectrum waterfall display, enhanced PC connectivity, and an SD memory card slot. For more information on ICOM radios, be sure to visit ICOMAmerica.com/amateur.
Join the conversation. Give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1. That's 812-638-4261. Now, here's more Ham Talk Live.
Here's the snap. Rapp takes the rig. He breaks through the pileup. He's on 80. Now 40. Now 20, 15, 10, 2 meters, touchdown, Ham Talk Live.
Thanks to ICOM America for bringing Ham Talk Live your way and for powering K2BSA. Check them out at icomamerica.com/amateur. Ham Talk Live is on the air every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at hamtalklive.com. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And it's time now for your calls. So if you have a question, give us a call, 812-638-4261, or you can tweet us at Ham Talk Live. And if you're listening to us on WTWW or the podcast edition, we're not here. It's Thursday night, so you won't get anybody on the phone there. But if you're listening live, give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1, 812-638-4261. And Bill, one of the things that, I always associate with this, because School Club Roundup is one of my big things with being a high school club sponsor. And so we always kind of associate Jamboree on the air with School Club Roundup because it's either the weekend before or the weekend after, so we usually catch a little bit of traffic on both sides. So this year it's right before School Club Roundup.
Yeah. That's always a good lead-in too, because scouting's involved in a lot of the schools and so on and so forth, and it's always it's another opportunity to get youngsters on the air, and I definitely see a good mashup of the two events being always next door to each other. It makes a lot of sense. Whoever planned that must have known something.
Yeah, there you go. So the fall School Club Roundup is always the third week of October, and it's Monday through Friday, so it's school days. And at our school, we get on after school. Some schools get on during the day, but it's another chance for you to get on and talk to some youth out there and get them involved in ham radio. So School Club Roundup is October 21st through 25th, so don't miss that and get on. And again, give them some people to talk to. There needs to be somebody on the other side of the radio, and if you can work with a school to get a club station going, that's even better.
Yeah. Speaking of getting involved and getting together, we were just talking in the break about one of the comments we had via Twitter about a club trying to get a local group together and do this Jamboree on the Air event. And we always tell people that if you're really trying to work hard at getting JOTA started or Jody started in your area where, let's say, there isn't an organized group doing it, start working the district roundtables. That way you get to the local district, you get there, they have a monthly meeting. I don't know of many districts that don't. And you start talking to the district executive and the people that are actually running, the actual district mechanics. So you can get people involved. You can start getting it on the calendar. The Jamboree on the Air calendar is up on our website that kind of tells you when you should be doing stuff. And for the areas that are having this issue where your club's interested in doing it, but can't get cooperation from a local council or a local district, or maybe you're only talking to a troop, I don't know. Definitely start early and keep up with the engagement with the district and possibly even a council if you're in a larger area or smaller area where the councils are more representative. So that's all I could say to that is definitely start earlier and talk people's ears off about this event.
Yeah, planning is always good. If we know, what's going on ahead of time, it makes it a whole lot easier to justify things in the youth world because, there's always those concerns, that need to be addressed about, legal things and liability and all that, stuff that unfortunately has to be put into place to safeguard people and to make sure that, the resources are there to make it a successful event. And so if you can plan ahead, that always helps.
Yeah, our planning calendar starts 10 months out. So in January is when you should start planning it. That's when you should get it. Make sure it's on everybody's calendars, on everybody's newsletters. You start early. And if you follow that calendar, it's just a recommendation, not required. But if you follow it, you can kind of gear up to making your event a success.
812-638-4261 is the telephone number if you'd like to call in and talk about any of these events, the Jamboree on the air and internet, or Fallout or School Club Roundup. Give us a call at 812-NET-HAM1, 812-638-4261. A little bit more about School Club Roundup. You can find information about that on the ARRL website. And also don't forget about YODARegion2.org over at YODA Region 2. They try to promote all of the youth events in North, Central, and South America. So you can check that out and get links to all of these places as well. So don't forget about that. Well, Bill, last we talked, you were out in West Virginia and working the World Scout Jamboree. How did things go?
Yeah, things went really well at the World Scout Jamboree. Like I said, we had 45,000 scouts there. We saw about, I want to say 3,000. I don't have the numbers pulled up right in front of me from the final report, but we saw about 3,000 in our tent. And this year, for this event, we only had the demonstration station there. We didn't do Radio Merit Badge. We did have also the Amateur Radio Direction Finding Group. They were over in the orienteering section, and they saw quite a few scouts over in there. And, of course, we did 3 balloon launches, and we had the ARIS contact with the space station, which was really awesome to see that firsthand. I've kind of seen them online and stuff like that, but never actually been to one actually happen. And it was kind of interesting, amazing, fun, and scary all at the same time. Trying to organize and get all that to come off, and luckily we have just the right people involved. Mike W4UOO did took care of the soundboard and everything else for us, made sure that contact was there, and of course Jim running the microphone, being the MC master like he always is. It was great, and we had a lot of fun. We had over 4,000 contacts. We also had an impromptu testing session while we were at the World Scout Jamboree for some of the adults in the camp. And two of the people that we had in volunteering at our tent, both took their license test, and they both passed the first time. So they both got their technician license, one from Liechtenstein and the other one from the UK. So it was really, really cool to see that we had 2 staff members that weren't licensed, but when they left the event, they were licensed. So we were 100% licensed in our event tent. So it was pretty awesome.
Well, that's great. That's good news. So sounds like that one went well, and you don't even have JODA over with yet, and already you're planning the National Scout Jamboree event.
Yeah, we got the National Scout Jamboree coming up in 2021. It definitely feels like this is an every other year thing, but no, really, National Jamboree is every 4 years. It's just we had to squeeze a World Jamboree in the middle of it all. Fortunately, it's at the same place, so we're real excited to kind of turn back on those antennas. We just got the new antennas for the World Scout Jamboree, and they did perform very, very well. So we're real excited to get those back up in the air and get those on the ICOM gear in 2021, and we're already kind of retooling and refocusing. We have some initial thoughts on how we're going to do it. I think we're going to focus this time on the Morse code interpreter strip as kind of what would be the normal radio merit badge program. It's kind of an idea, maybe more than an idea. But we're gonna be all about Morse code this time. We've had so much interest in Morse code at the event and not enough representation of it. And I think this time we're going to try to go a little bit crazy with Morse code. So we haven't put the call out for team members yet, but have that in mind. Brush up on the old CW.
We need some CW ops for National Scout Jamboree. So well, sounds great.
Yeah. So we're real excited about it.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of good stuff, but a lot of planning ahead. So good luck on getting it all squared away, and be sure to let us know what's going on and how people can help out.
Yeah, for sure. No calls.
All right.
Huh?
Well, anything else? I think we're gonna wrap things up here. But anything else we need to throw in here real quick, Bill?
No. You just remember register at the world site, the international site, jodi.info, and the national site, of course, for the U.S. is K2BSA.net. Definitely register there. As well, there is a net tonight in about 20 minutes or so on the Star Jambo 365 Star Echolink node, where they have the U.S. Radio Scouting Net every second Thursday of each month. And this one luckily falls the week before JOTA. So if you have JOTA questions, there are a ton of JOTA professionals that attend that, and I suggest you connect over there, and you can talk live with Chris Overby and a bunch of other guys that help make JOTA a reality and the excellent event that it actually is. So that's the USA Radio Scouting Net over on Star JOTA-365 Star. And I think that's all I have. Yeah.
And somehow we keep having you on right before that.
Just happens.
Second Thursday of the month, and it happens to be it happens multiple times. So, well, Bill, thanks for coming on the show. Thanks for filling us in on what's going on with the Jamboree on the air and some upcoming things with K2BSA and radio scouting. And we look forward to hearing from you again soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
All right. Well, that's Bill Stearns, NE4RD. So that is a wrap for this week's edition of Ham Talk Live. Thanks to Bill, NE4RD, and Christian, K0STH, and everybody out there in cyberspace for listening. And I invite you all back next Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time when Jerry Ellsworth, AI6TX, and Amy Herndon, AI6ZU, will be here to talk about virtual reality in contesting. If you've heard about their Kickstarter program, it's going crazy on some of this virtual reality stuff. And she's got some great ideas about using this in contesting. So we'll talk about that next week, and you'll have a chance to call in and ask your questions live. And for a list of all of our upcoming guests, visit hamtalklive.com. And if you like the show, please leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. That helps others find us faster. So for now, this is Neil Rapp, WB9VPG, saying 7375, and may the good DX be yours.